All of my embroiderers, come to the front. Just come on to the front, have a seat. This video is for you. If you love embroidery, if you want to start your own business or you started it, but your main issue, main concern, the thing that you're struggling with the most, that probably most of us struggle with, is digitizing, baby, I have the solution for you. Okay, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again because I do have some new people that's into embroidery. So if you don't have the time to digitize, because as we know, digitizing definitely takes time. It literally can consume you if you don't know how to do it. If you don't have, up-to-date software or the top versions or the best software, who got time for that? Or if you just not, software savvy, if it doesn't come out the way you want it to, especially if you're selling to a business or anything like that, digitizing is going to make or break your embroidery business. It really is. There's always a solution. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can relieve some of the stress, how you can relieve that workload off. I'm always working smarter, not harder, because when I first started this business, I had no desire. I'm not gonna lie. I had no desire to digitize. I want to just make the money. I want to get to the bag. All right. So I'm gonna let somebody else handle that. Now, when it comes to small, simple words, fonts, names, all that, I do that all day. That's easy, right? But we're talking about graphics. We're talking about, turning images, because, a lot of people want to send in their logos. They want to send in their own graphics. How do we digitize that? How do we go from a beautiful photo, a JPEG, a PNG photo, into a full stitch out, a digitized file? That's the question of the day, right? So I'm gonna walk you through it. So if you've been looking, if you've been searching and you can't find the right digitizer, someone who's good, reliable, fast, and efficient, and give you great quality work, try ZDigitizing. Try them out, if you've never tried them before. And as a special thanks to my audience, to my viewers, they're giving my audience only 50% off. 50% off if you try their services for the first time. The link is going to be down below in the description box, and my special coupon code is right here on the screen. So all you have to do is just try them out and see if you like their work. I love it. I've been using it literally for years, okay? So ZDigitizing is the company that I'm going to be telling you about today, and let's go ahead and head on over to the embroidery machine. So everyone is always asking me, do I do my own designs? Do I digitize myself? All the work that you see on my social media page, and there's no shame to my game. I let everyone know that 75% of the work, hands down, I do not do it. Ha! I fooled y'all, right? Now, I love embroidery, but I love a perfect stitch out. I love for my designs to be flawless. I want my work to be impeccable when it comes to sending it out, right? Anything I do, whether I create the files or whether someone is sending me a file. So as you know, I do my own work. I have my own Christian brand, but I also do services for groups, for churches, for other businesses. So whenever they send me in their graphics, in return, I have to make sure that they're satisfied and that they're getting back quality work, right? So sometimes people are sending me crazy graphics. There was one that I had for a logo, and it was like, there's no way I can digitize this. This one right here, this logo, it had a lot of colors. It was complex, but it turned out flawless because I gave it to ZDigitizing. So right now I have a design, a new design that I have worked on. I was really trying to think, what else can I come out with? And after I designed it, I was like, I could digitize it myself, but I want it to be, have shadows in it and stuff like that. I want the drips to be right. So guess who I sent it over to? ZDigitizing. So I'm going to show you how I sent in my artwork. I'm going to show you how you can do the same. And they don't just do embroidery. They have vector services as well. So if you need SVGs, if you have any type of graphic and you want it transformed into a vector, SVG, so that way it can be scaled to any size, it can be put on anything, they do that as well. It's all on their website. But I just want you guys to know that the turnaround time is crazy. It's crazy. So when you're running a business and when you're doing all types of things, packing orders and stuff, you don't always have time to sit down and literally digitize and go through it. It's a headache. It really is. I've been there. I still do it every now and then, but for the most part, here you go. ZDigitizing, take it. So they will take the load off, they will take the stress away, and they'll send you back all of your files within 1 to 4 hours, okay? So I'm gonna take you to their online store. I'm gonna show you how you place an order, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how my file turned out, because this is gonna be my new design. And thanks to ZDigitizing, it's a tongue twister of a name. Sometimes, you know, I'm like, zzz, but thanks to ZDigitizing, they did a fabulous job, and I'm gonna show you how it turned out. All right, let's go on over and check out their website. So this is ZDigitizing's website, and I'm on the page for embroidery. It lets you know that you can get your logo perfectly digitized, fast, affordable, and 100% guaranteed, meaning you can keep communicating with them until you are 100% satisfied with the file, right? All right, so a lot of people use their services. You can see a lot of the befores and afters. This is like the images that people have sent in, regular photos, right? And they're transforming it into your live image digitizing. Whether it's a regular picture, whether it's a vector, they can transform anything into an embroidery file, into a .dst. That's what most people use. You can even do 3D puff embroidery. As you know, that's a whole different type of digitizing, you know, with stitches and stuff. There's a lot that you might not know how to do, but you might want to do or might want to embroider. So if you don't know how to actually digitize these particular type of files, so once you have your file, you're going to input all this information. It's going to bring you to the screen, and again, they'll show you like before. If I look up close, you can see that this is a regular image, right? But on the right, you can see how they change it and transform it into an embroidery digitized file. A lot of people, I'm just going to say, I deal with a lot of people and they don't know. All they know is they want an embroider, but they don't know it takes you know, a digitizing process to transform it from a regular image into a stitch file. You have to explain that to your customers. So this is an extra cost. I hope you guys are not, you know, doing embroidery, and if you are doing digitizing, or if you get it done, I hope you're adding that into the fee. It is going to be based upon the size of your file as well. So the bigger your file, the more thread that it takes, of course, the more it's going to cost. So everyone's file is not going to be the same price. It's not like a flat fee. These are going to be your file formats that you can submit. You just let them know what size you want, whether it's for a cap, whether it's for a left chest, front chest, back jacket, or other. You're going to specify. Most of the time, I just give the exact size. Even if it's for a left chest, which is typically around like 3 inches wide or so, I'll give the size, but I'll also let them know, hey, it's a left chest logo, but I want it to be specifically 3.5 inches, or whether it's, you know, 4 inches, whatever it is. So just be specific. Then you're going to choose your turnaround time. Normal is probably like next day, but same day is in like 1 to 4 hours. Okay. So they can do it as quick as same day. Just letting you guys know that. And then of course you'll choose your complexity. If it's, you know, just text, or, you know, if it's really like this image, this line would be complex. Okay. So then of course you're going to come down and put in any additional information regarding like the fabric. So say for instance, if it's going on 100% cotton versus polyester versus leather, sometimes the stitch out, the density will be different. So you just want to make sure you're giving them all the information possible, so that way your stitch out can be perfect for that type of fabric. Okay. And then you're just going to upload your file right here. You add it to cart. They're going to give you a price, and baby, bada boom, bada bing, you just sit back and wait. And why did I say that? Because I'm not Italian. But literally that fast, you sit back, you wait, and you get your file, and then you just have fun embroidering like I'm about to do right now. But also, I just want you to know they have some other services available. So you have embroidery digitizing, and then you have vector art as well. So same thing. You can get your images vectorized as well. So now the same way you would upload your embroidery file is the same way you would upload your image, so that way it can be vectorized. All right. So just giving you guys a close up so that way you can see that. So a vector image is something that will not lose the shape. If you take a JPEG or if you take a PNG, when you stretch it out, those pixels will be, you know, pixelated. It'll start to get grainy. But a vectorized image, an SVG, once you enlarge it, it keeps all of the pixels, everything in proportion, and it looks the same as if it was, you know, a 5x5 versus a 10x10. All right, so they can turn your regular images into vectorized art as well. Okay, and then they have an online store. They have an online store where you can come in here and you can look at their files. So if you don't have your own artwork, if you just want to practice your embroidery skills, if you just want to sell, you know, some designs and you don't really have the time to design or have your own graphics, you can come in here and buy their embroidery files. Okay. And as you can see, it lets you know how many are sold, and they have so many different images to choose from, all ready to go. All ready to go. That's the best thing. It's all ready to go. Okay, so you can browse their embroidery designs by category, and you can literally pick out all types. All right, so let's see what's going on. Christmas is coming up soon, so let's look at the Christmas category. So you can search all of these different designs and you can buy any file. Do y'all see the price? Do y'all see the price? Look at the Christmas reindeer. And you can literally sell these on the low, add people's names, customize them, do all that. Oh, they got the Nike for Christmas. I like that. So many different files and so many different categories. So come in here, browse their website, and that way you can get embroidery files already done for the low. Okay, I know a lot of people use like Etsy and stuff, but they cost a lot. Some of them cost a lot. People charge a lot more. You're getting most of these files in here for $2. My lights just went off. Why? All right. Nevertheless, this is the website. I just wanted to show it to you, but now I'm going to show you the file that I submitted, and we're going to go ahead and stitch it out and see how it turned out. So that way you guys will have proof that it works. So I'm going to show you the file that I did, that I sent in to them. And at first I created this image and I did it like this. Just want to show you, this is my first one, Drenched in Mercy. I have two, Drenched in Mercy, Dripped in Grace is for the front and the other one is for the back, right? That was the first design that I created myself, but I was like, I don't know if I really like that. All right, so then I went back to the drawing board, I started again, and then this was the final image that I created, Dripped in Grace. You see the shadow effects, I got the drip. Where's the new one? So that's the one. This is the one that we're going to stitch out. So I created two designs, Dripped in Grace, but Grace can't go without Mercy. Grace and Mercy goes hand in hand. So of course I had to create something else, right? So I came up with Drenched in Mercy, Dripped in Grace, Dripped in Grace, and Drenched in Mercy. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna sell them together, like a front and back type of design. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But for today's video, even though they did stitch out and digitize both of them for me, they came out beautifully. I'm only going to show you the Dripped in Grace because that's the one that I stitched out today. So I wanted to see how it would look and then just envision if I would put the Drenched in Mercy on the back. So I can sell them separately or I can sell them together. Originally, that was my thought process. I want to be dripped in grace and I want to be drenched in mercy. All right. So let me know what you think after you see the stitch out. But let's head on over to the machine so that way you can see how it all turned out. Okay, let's go. So here is my production worksheet. As you can see, the colors now reflect what my image is going to look like. This is the color analysis, let you know what each part of the stitches once it changes the color. So that's why I do it. So I only print this out the very first time. Only print it out the very first time. Then I store it in my embroidery machine and I don't have to use this ever again. All the colors are locked in, stored in. Only time you'll change it or adjust it is if you move your your color spools around. All right, but I just want to also let you guys know, if you use ZDigitizing Services, you'll get 50% off if you use my special coupon code, my special link down below. Okay, so if you want to try their services out for the very first time, you get a special 50% off to my audience. All right, so the code is right here on the screen and the link will be down below in the description box. All right, so make sure you use that so that way you can save some coins and you can save your time. So now I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. Let's go. Okay, so I'm now going to stitch out my design. I just did the test stitch, so this is on a 5x5 mighty hoop. I transferred the files in here, but now I need to go and get the actual size. So now I'm going to get the bigger design, and automatically this machine is going to let you know that the design is too big for the size hoop that I have selected already. So now I have to go in and switch my hoop. So I'm just going to select yes. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and get the hoop size. So this design is 10 inches wide and about 6 inches and a half in height. So I'm gonna be using my Mighty Hoop, the 8x13, perfect size. So I already had these pre-designed in here, pre-stored in here, pre-stored in here. And now you'll see that it automatically fits. I'm gonna go ahead now and pick my colors because the colors are not right. This is gonna be going on a fatigue hoodie. I won't be selling it on the fatigue hoodie, but I'm just gonna be stitching it out for the first time on the fatigue hoodie. So let's go ahead and change the colors. Okay, so I saved. So now automatically you can see that the colors have changed. So I love that this displays the actual colors of what you're going to be stitching out, how you're going to be stitching it out. It'll only read correctly if you have your colors input in the machine matched according to how you have it on your embroidery machine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, do my tray stitch, and we're going to start stitching. This is where I keep most of my hoops at, most of them. Some of them I do hang. Even though it's a mess right now, I just want to show you I keep them in my top drawer because this is the largest, flattest one. So I keep a lot of them here. This is my Mighty Hooping Station. I just switched it out from the 5x5. Size is right here, 8x13 Mighty Hoop. Makes it so much easier. This is my cutaway, the cutaway stabilizer. Because I'm using a thicker garment, I'm just gonna place that right there. This locks it in place, stabilizes the stabilizer. All right, so I'm gonna be using the fatigue hoodies. I'm wondering how this is gonna look on this hoodie. It should look really nice, but let's go ahead. I'm gonna line it up. This lets you have the same position every single time you embroider. If you're doing the same, same garments over and over again, everything is going to be perfectly lined up, straight. Use the lines as your guides, and just like that, locks it in. And take it right off. Into the machine I go. Okay, I just put in a new bobbin. Okay, I'm going to make sure the bottom is clear, nothing gets caught, because I've done that before. Okay, and put this right on in here, slide that in, and I'm gonna always double check to make sure everything is free and clear. Do a tray stitch, and then I'm gonna stitch it out. Too close to the top, so I'm gonna bring it down some. I'm stitching this out at 800 stitches per minute, and here we go. So this design has 54,000 stitches. It lets me know the progress rate. It's estimated at an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. First thread break, first thread break. Okay, where is the string? The thread just like snapped. Oh, the thread ran out. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm like, I don't even see. That's the first time that has ever happened. Oh my God, I can't believe I wasn't watching it. No thread up here. Now I have to spool the whole thing. Thread the whole thing. Ugh. To be continued. I was going so good. I was going so good. I cannot believe I let that happen. I hate threading, but it has to be done. So always try to keep an eye on your spool so that way it doesn't run out, because when you get down low, all you want to do is just knot it, tie them together, and then just pull it through. So that's what I would technically do, or always do, except when you don't see it running out and you're doing other things. So I'm just going to go ahead and thread this really quick, and I'm back up and running. But I got white bobbin coming through. I think that's from when the thread was breaking. So So I'm gonna have to adjust the bobbin, like right here, over there. I mean, the texture looks great around here, so I think it's just sometimes when it pulls through, so I can always color it with fabric marker. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I'm just noticing that my drips under my E, there's a space. I don't know why the white is showing out more. I'm hoping when it goes back over the border it covers that, but yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to fix this. The drips is way too long. How did that even happen? Okay, so I stopped it because I can already tell this is not as tight as this one. All right, so time I changed the spool, of course, now it's stitching out differently. Okay, I'm gonna adjust the bobbin. All right, so I'm gonna just tighten the bobbin up to see if that helps, because it's actually a little bit too loose. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay, I got it. Turned it some. So now I'm gonna see if that's a little bit tighter. I'm hoping that this will. Still feels too loose. Let's see. I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm just gonna hope that this fixes it, because that's a huge drastic difference from E and C. Alright, so I'm stopping it because I'm trying to fix it and get it back on track. As you can see, it's a little misaligned here. So I'm trying to literally fix it. So all I have to do is just move it over a smidget. I'm gonna cut it. So of course I ruined this hoodie because I have no idea how that happened. I don't even know. So I'm just going to move it a little bit, one tap. That should do it. Okay, I just stepped out, coming back. Look at that, we back on track. I don't know what happened to that C. That C got me tight because I really like this design. The A stitched out perfectly. The E was a little off, but yeah, I don't know what happened with that C. But we gotta keep going. More than halfway done. I'm at 66%, so got about half an hour. After the G, just got to finish the words at the top. I'm loving the black on the fatigue. Always looks hot. So once I add in that red, it's really just going to make it pop. Alright, this one is all done. Let's check it out, pull it out. Look at that. Everything stitched out beautifully. other than the C. Oh, and the E. I could put it back in, stitch over it again, but I'm not going to. I could do this over, which I just might. I'll probably see what happened. I really don't know what happened here, but this is what it looks like. I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna do the E over or not, but this is for right now, and I'm gonna see what I can do to fix it, so stay tuned for the final results. So this is what the design looks like straight out the embroidery machine. I should have used black backing, black stabilizer, but it just came. So typically if I have a dark design or if I'm using a lot of black, I don't want that white to show through, so I will use black. So it didn't come in time because I wanted to do the video. But again, because this is just for me, I'm just gonna fill this in with the black fabric marker, okay? If I was selling this, then of course I wouldn't do this. But because it's just me and I really just wanted to go ahead, and because this design was so large, I did not want to start over. As you saw, 54,000 stitches, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and take it out. Typically, you could just go back over it, or you could, you know, start again. But when you're doing like custom sweatshirts like this, especially this one is, you know, not a regular sweatshirt, not a regular hoodie. This is the fatigue, the army one, you know, it costs even more. So you can't just start over, right? So you have to be very careful. That's why a stitch out is always, you know, best. So for whatever the reason, I think I moved the mighty hoop. I really don't know how I did that, but you know, things happen. So I'm just gonna cover this up. I'm gonna be very precise. It doesn't look bad. So once I do this, then I'm pretty much okay. So unfortunately, if I was selling this, and I will be selling this design, this will not happen. The stitch out is perfect. This has nothing to do with ZDigitizing. This was literally user error. Okay, but as you see, I'm covering up the black. I'm covering up the white to make it, you know, better. And I went over some of the border, but I just didn't want to keep backtracking. I had to get it back in alignment. But everything else came out perfect other than the drip over here and then the C. But that already looks better. So I'll keep playing with it, but I wanted to show you how you can fix, you know, small minor imperfections. And if you don't want that white to show, if you're not 100%, you know, perfect with your tension, get you some black stabilizer. This is going to be linked down below on my Amazon storefront. And of course, if you're interested in mighty hoops, because this is what I use, that will be linked down below in my description box as well. This is the final result. I love this design, and I actually love the way it looks on the fatigue. Now, I'm not going to be selling it on the fatigue because I don't have that many left. So I will be selling this on regular solid colors, hoodies and stuff. So you can grab it in my storefront coming soon this weekend. I'm going to do some more stitch outs, and I'll post it on my social media when it's ready and available. But I really love this, you know, dripped in grace. Like we dripped in grace and we drenched in mercy. Okay, so this is the final look, thanks to ZDigitizing. I love it. I really love it. The colors pop. Now I can make this design any color I want based upon the color of the hoodie. So I'll see if I'll keep it the same, but I really love the red and black. Let me know what you guys think. I have the dripped in grace and I have the drenched in mercy as well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do front and back. I'm thinking I'm definitely gonna do front and back, and then I'll probably do like some patches, G and M like on the side, I think, like to make it, you know, extra, because I'm always extra. I really love like arm details, but nevertheless, this design will be coming soon, to my storefront, hopefully this weekend, if not this weekend, next week. So again, if you're interested in ZDigitizing Services, get 50% off using my special coupon code right here, and the link is down below in the description box. Everything I use, if you're interested in embroidery machines, if you're interested in mighty hoops, all of that good stuff, all that info will be linked down below in the description box. Happy embroidering, and I'll see you guys next time. Always move in grace and stay dripped.